It's a very nice country. It's cold, similar to Germany, but I brought a jacket. I was prepared. Nice people, very nice conference, very nice venue for the conference, and most of all, I think one of the most interesting venues I've been to. If I'm informed correctly, it's one of the most expensive buildings in the European Union, and we've been informed about the window washing costs, etc. So I think I'm fully briefed on the building, so I'm looking forward to the content being shared here.
Okay, thank you. So about the conference, so is it important now, and in which way?
I think it's more important than ever. If we're looking at the digitization megatrend that's going on, and this megatrend including such things as Industry 4.0, and above that a further connection of even more instruments to the web and more critical infrastructure relying on the web to work, I think it's very important to talk about, hey, is this thing that we're putting our global economy on really safe, or should we be doing something more about safety?
And yeah, you started telling about the question I have about the future of internet, because well, internet is implemented hard in our everyday lives. But what next?
What next? Well, I think we're looking at a variety of factors. What's next in terms of security? We're definitely looking at such factors from a strategic perspective. Do we want to leave the network open as it is? Do we want to throw even more than $1 trillion per year, as expected by 2021, at securing the internet? Do we want to accept that the global costs of cybercrime are going to be $6 trillion a year by 2021. And this is trillion with a T. This represents, by today's standards, about 8% of the global GDP. $6 trillion. The global GDP is approximately 75.21 trillion. 6 trillion of that makes 8% of the global GDP being thrown out the window for reasons of an avoidable issue, because currently the industry in a variety of factors is treating symptoms, but it's not looking for a long-term solution. So even industry experts are saying, hey, the internet was never built for what you guys are doing with it now. It was never built with security in mind, you know. And these are the kind of things I think we really need to work on from a strategic perspective. And from that strategic perspective and from that learning curve that we generate out of that, I think we have to really generate a better network. We have to generate better software, and we have to, through this better software, have more educated users, or we need to educate the users more.
Okay, but who would be responsible for preventing hacking? Like, it's the users, I don't know, installing a anti-hackable software or something, or...
Well, if you look at it, according to a report, a 2015 report that was issued, over 90% of successful penetrations are made possible by social engineering, which in essence is the user being uncareful and thereby making the hack available, making the penetration available. So we've got a very high percentage of users responsible for that. But on the other hand, we have to look, is there an underlying cause even for the users being responsible? And I think this underlying cause, in essence, is the software itself. That's not sufficiently or programmed in a manner that's secure enough to allow even novice users to be able to operate it safely. And so I think we have an angle here between obviously the user failing, but the user failing because of mal-programmed software. Yeah. And I think that's the core issue we have to kind of differentiate, and we have to figure out how we're going to present a solution to that. I think holding somebody accountable for hacking at the moment is quite difficult, other than the hacker. Yet in hacking you have to differentiate between, do you have honest hackers that have a motive of making the network more secure, or do you have hackers who actually monetize from what they're doing?
Okay.
And thereby essentially endangering lives.
So can we even afford to get more involved with internet, with web, just to connect all the world?
can we afford it? This is a very difficult question. We can certainly afford it from a monetary perspective, because what we have to look at is we're at a crossroad. We've got the social responsibility at the one hand. Do we want to continue working with this network as it is, or do we want to improve it? But we also have a socio-economic impact. So we're going to have costs or a budget of $1 trillion being thrown at cybersecurity. So if we were to remove that from the economy, it would essentially mean that a lot of people would be without a job, and a lot of great developed systems and knowledge and legacy thereof would get lost. So it's the differentiation between the socio-economic aspect and the socio-economic impact. If we were to, for instance, create legislature to hold software companies or software vendors accountable for what they're doing, and the social impact that it would have if, for instance, yet another hospital gets taken out of operation because we have some kind of script kiddie malware that is or crypto Trojan taking out such an operation. So you have to differentiate. I think there's no real one clear answer that we could give at this time, because the matter is so complex by itself that it's very hard to say, let's take this direction and then neglect the other, or do we have to find a compromise or whatever.
Okay, so thank you about the conversation. So maybe some wishes to the viewers.
Yeah, hi Mom, I'm on TV. Great conference, join us next year. I hope I'll be here, and yeah, thank you very much for the interview.